Unlock the door, bitch. I'm on my way, and I got chicken strips.
I don't know why they call them chasers. It's not like Chubs can run real fast.
Double vodka with hot brownie chasers.
She just wanted to watch me eat it. Naked.
I can't say that. That's dirty.
Chasers will do anything to get into your pants. I love them.
Stop it! Stop!
Oh,
God.
Hey there, welcome to
Wild.
Cold and Wet 51 Degrees in Chubland, Chub's Gone Wild. This is episode 571, recorded on Monday, December 16th, 2024, and we are so excited about it being Christmas next week. We have waited the whole year to get to here, and guess what? Yesterday, Mercury in retrograde finally ended. So, we
I
are
don't think
back.
I don't think it did.
Well, for some of us, yeah. Yeah. Let's see. It is 5 days till winter solstice slash Yule. It is 9 days until Christmas and Hanukkah beginning. It is 16 days until New Year's Day, and it is 319 days until Halloween. So it's sneaking right up on us.
Don't forget 10 days till Kwanzaa.
That is true. Thank you for reminding me. I don't know why I didn't add that. I'm going to add it right now so we don't forget next time. Okay. Well, it has been quite a journey, and well, you just went through kind of hell because for those of you who don't know, and most of you don't.
You're the only one that knows.
Well, I was trying to be generous, but yeah. So Tom just got back from the dentist, and neither of us like the dentist. But
No.
yes,
I was. What's that word?
traumatized.
Well, yes, but when they surprise you,
Oh,
you use the word
bushwhacked. No,
push something like that. Yes, I'll get it. I'll get it. You sent it to me, and I went. That's exactly what happened. Let's see. Oh, I hate no, not being blindsided.
blindsided.
No, it was ambushed.
Yes.
Ambushed. I was ambushed. I swear. Okay, I was in 2 weeks ago. Well, I was in about 3 weeks before that. Right before I went to Hawaii, I went in. So, and then they gave me a cleaning, and they said, "Oh, we're gonna have you come back because we got to put a crown in and replace a filling." Okay, so I went in 2 weeks ago. They replaced the filling. I thought, because I was there for 2.5 hours, and all I got was they shaped a crown, and they gave me half a cleaning.
Wow.
So I thought that the other half of the cleaning was the cleaning I got back in October, because she gave me a cleaning only on my right side. So then I go in, they do whatever they did last time. They said, "Oh no, you've got your left cleaning." Oh, that's right. So I get the left cleaning, and as well as what found out was just the crown molding. And then I come back thinking all I'm getting is the crown pop back in, or the new crown in, and I'm gone. No, I had to get the crown put in, the filling done, which meant lots of needles and lots of poking, lots of upside down. It was very cold in there. And then afterwards they go, "Okay, well, you did really well. Now just sit in the lobby until we can get you to do the other half of your cleaning." And I'm like, whatever, just fucking whatever. And if that wasn't bad enough, crying child in the dentist's office.
Oh, I felt so
Who
bad.
the hell takes a kid to the dentist's office unless they are being treated? No one.
Yeah. See, when you said that, you said, "And now there's a crying baby," and I thought you were talking about yourself, and I
No.
guess you were, shaking and stuff, and I'm just like, oh my God, I'm so
and and
sorry.
and it's the child just kept screaming. They kept giving him potato chips. As soon as they took away the potato chips, the kid would scream. And I was like, give him the fucking bag. Just
Yeah.
what's
Yeah,
wrong with
let
you
him play
people?
with that bag.
Oh
Yeah.
my God, take him outside. There's because there's an inner lobby, there's like a hallway, and take him out there to scream. My God, what am I retrograde? No, it's
Yeah.
still going on, girl. It's still going
It's
on.
like you already had that drill in
It,
your, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So
Ugh.
I got it all. It was a eventful 2 hours.
Uh, yeah.
Anyway, okay, moving on.
Okay, well, let's take a moment and center ourselves and release that negative energy. And there's a lot of it. I have more than enough time to do everything I want. Time expands for me. Oh, just like a lot of our waistlines, they expand for me. All right. Hey, Patreon offers folks a way to support creators and receive awards not open to the general public, like special podcast videos, books, and a lot more. And we want to thank our current patrons, Clint, Nephi, Nick, DJ Stas, and from the Univaz, Eric, Sean, Charles, Phoenix Dave, Brothers Thanatus, Kingsley, Kathy Bacon, and Moose Pete. Please visit patreon.com/Matt Burlingame to find out how you can support our projects for as little as $1 a month. And thank you again for everyone who has been supportive this year. It has meant a lot. All right. Well, this day in history in Boston Harbor, a group of Massachusetts colonists, there it is, disguised as Mohawk Native Americans, uh, indigenous people. There you go, Mohawks. Um, board three tea ships and dumped 342 chests of tea into the harbor. The midnight raid, popularly known as the Boston Tea Party, was in protest of the British Parliament's Tea Act of 1773, a bill designed to save the faltering East India Company by greatly lowering its tea tax and granting a virtual monopoly on the American tea trade. The low tax allowed the East India Company to undercut even tea smuggled into America by Dutch traders, and many colonists viewed the act as another example of taxation tyranny. And I am making my
Yeah,
font a
but did,
little larger there.
but did
Yeah.
they have to disguise themselves as the Mohawks? Really?
Yeah, I
See,
know,
that's the
right?
that's the thing. Always find a villain
Mm-hmm.
that things could be blamed on, like Elphaba. Blame it on her. Blame it on
Right.
the animals.
Green, oh my goodness. Oh, they're different than us. Oh, let's blame trans people who are like 0.01% of the population. Well, 1% of the population still. Okay. It is a good point. And let's go ahead and see what, oh my goodness. Well, let's see what we've celebrated today. There's only 5 things to choose from, so maybe one of them. Starting with the Barbie and Barney Backlash Day.
No, no.
Okay. Boston Tea Party Day. I might have some tea later.
Well, we
And
just talked
then
about that.
instead of drinking it, I'll just throw it in the sink. Be like, fuck
Oh,
you.
yeah, you tyranny.
Um, and then Day of Reconciliation in South Africa. And National Chocolate Covered Anything Day. Well, chocolate covered chocolate, maybe. My little advent calendar chocolate where
Doesn't
they
count.
give the
Doesn't count.
most horrible chocolate ever.
Yeah. If there was a nut in it, you could count it.
Oh, that's dirty. Also, it is Stupid Toy Day.
Well, you've got plenty of that.
I do. Here. Well, this isn't stupid, but one of my little Santa elves? No. Yes, elves.
Gnome.
Gnome, thank you. Like, elf isn't right. All right. Well, that was a short little holidays today. I guess nothing's really going on.
Wow.
Yeah,
I've had sex that was longer than that.
once or twice, maybe.
Well, and I've had sex that was shorter than that too. So
Uh, yeah, many times. All right. Well, hey, let's talk about birthdays today. Happy birthday to Judson, to Christopher, one of our regular listeners and commenters. Thank you, thank you. Happy birthday, Christopher. We also have Matt and Drew, that Drew from who also known as Gooch from formerly Vera Speaks. We have Melissa, Theron, Joe, that Joe Zubia, he's a listener. And we have Kira. Also, happy birthday to upcoming Jacob, Josh, Tay, Jackie, Michael, Davina, Francie, Richard, James, and my Aunt Kendall, who I get to see every week now, and I love seeing her. So it's really cool. She's 3 years younger than I am. Yeah, she's 3 years younger than I am. So we have a lot in common. Okay. Well, nothing in our feed bag. So let's move on to Chub Hugs. And I have three that I would like to send out. The first one being to one of our amazing listeners and a local boy, Scott. We're sending him a lot of love. He recently had some health issues that he's been dealing with. Also to Andy, another one of our local friends who has just gone through yet another surgery. She's had multiple this year, so sending her a lot of love. And of course, we need to send a warming chug hug out to Mr. Tom for the tragedy of what he went through this morning. That was horrible. And I am one of the people who can sympathize. I've been through dental drama like that, and it is horrific. And if you've
well,
never been through it, you just don't get it.
and you were the only one I told because I didn't want to have to hear from somebody else going, "Oh, whatever."
Yeah. If you
Yeah.
if you haven't been through the hell, you don't get it. So yeah, I
One
big chub
time,
hugs.
one time I was getting a root canal, my first root canal,
Yeah.
and it was this one doctor, dentist, and I was in the chair, and they numbed me up, so I got all the needles, everything was going fine. They have because you have to drill out the tooth, the nerve,
Oh.
and then they, that's fine. Well, it was taking too long, or they took too long to get started, and I was starting to feel it,
Oh.
and they're like going, well, we can't really stop right now. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the Novocaine directly onto the nerve.
I've had that. No. Mm-mm.
And so the assistant laid over my arms because I was writhing when they
Mhm.
did it. And then afterwards, they wanted me to pay for that. Ugh.
Pay to be tortured.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I have white knuckled my way through chairs because I've had, especially on this side, for some reason, my right side, um, sometimes does not deaden all the way, and I can feel that shit, and it is horrible. So I have so much sympathy for that. Um,
So my chub hugs go out to all the folks that have to travel more than an hour over the holidays, especially those that are out flying. With we've just gone through some bad weather, so that's heading to the east, and it'll be there just in time for the holidays and the travel time. So yeah, chub hugs out to anybody that has to travel at this time of year.
yeah,
It's almost because it's not, you don't just have the weather, you have everybody else traveling,
yeah.
and everybody's not in a good mood. If you've seen the red one, this opening scene in the mall
Uh-huh.
is what I try to avoid. just angry people, everybody, selfish, looking out for themselves kind of quality, all that Christmassy feeling. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Ugh,
No,
hate that.
I totally get that. It seems with the weather getting so much worse in the last decade or so that travel during the holidays is becoming, I don't know, maybe less of a thing.
Did you hear that San Francisco had a tornado warning yesterday?
Yes.
And Santa Cruz actually had a tornado.
And they also had that, and they had an earthquake, and I think there was something else too.
Well,
They-
the earthquake was
so-
up north in Eureka area, and the one in Nevada.
and that was the one yesterday.
What? There was an earthquake?
Yeah.
Oh, I hadn't heard.
Yesterday, yeah. It was apparently around the same place that they had the tornado too. So it was just
Well, how fucked up
crazy
is
shit
that?
going on. Yeah, exactly. It's like California, no, we're earthquakes and wildfires we kind of get, but the tornadoes and shit, no, we don't understand that. It's a mess. All right. In news, voters in Odessa, Texas rejected 3 incumbent city council members just 1 month after they voted to implement a harsh anti-trans bathroom ban, replacing one with the city's first out gay council member. And then Michigan Democrats are reeling from the recent electoral setbacks and anxious about the future, and are looking to U.S. Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg as a potential force to realign their party and energize voters should he decide to run for governor in 2026. Buttigieg could become Michigan's first out gay leader in the state's helm. Dana Nessel, a lesbian and the state's current attorney general, is the highest LGBTQ plus elected official in Michigan. And of course, it doesn't say what she did, but hey, yay. I'd love to see him do all sorts of wonderful things. He's really good. All right. Well, and that leads us to celebrity deaths.
Okay, sorry.
That's okay. You are shaken and stirred. So,
Let's see. A few days ago, Michael Cole, who's the last surviving cast member of the Mod Squad, he died. He was 84.
oh,
It's just weird thinking, with well, just Peggy Lipton and just because she died about 10 years ago, I think it was. So anyway, it's just part of the aging, it's we're losing the people from the 70s now.
yeah,
That's the scary part.
yeah.
Speaking of that, yeah, I think it was Saturday we lost the amazing Kreskin.
Wow.
He was 89, famous for being he did all the talk shows, and he could read minds. It was, I mean, it was fun, but wow. And then Jill Jacobson, from Star Trek: The Next Generation and Falcon Crest, she died at 70.
Wow.
Tad Young.
Yeah, very. I actually had to look her up to see what parts she played on Star Trek, and there were several of them actually. Pretty good. She wasn't like a main character, but she did some good memorable roles. All right, and now Tom's going to tell us about his week.
Well, on David Chang, Dinner with David Chang on Netflix. This week he did a Christmas Carol dinner. So I'm thinking Christmas Carol. So he's going to do gross food from the late 1800s. But no, he did. It was Christmas present, Christmas future, Christmas past meals, and it just. I think it was an ill-conceived theme. I don't think they thought it through very well. Which I usually wouldn't care, but I was kind of interested to see what they were going to bring in. This week on Survivor, Well, are you watching Survivor yet? No, I'm not. Okay. Well, then I'll talk. Survivor, it was a double elimination. They got rid of Genevieve, who is, she's one of those that if you don't get rid of her, she's going to make it to the top three and most likely win. So she went to the jury, but it was the second person who was Andy. Now, the thing that was so much fun with Andy on this particular one was Andy was sure that Rachel was going to be the one going. So Andy sat there with Rachel, they were off alone. And he goes, well, you're going this week. And she goes, yeah, I know I'm going. And he goes, well, let me tell you something. You are not going to believe what a stud I am. And he basically gave her his entire resume on how if once he got to the jury, I mean, not to the jury, but to the end and had to talk to the jury, this is how he was going to prove this is why I deserve to win. And of course, he didn't realize that Rachel had a immunity necklace. And the what happened was Rachel, okay, they all were going to vote for Rachel except for Sue and Rachel. So Rachel went to Sue and goes, Andy's more of a threat than anybody else right now. So we're going to vote for Andy instead of voting for Sam. And because whoever they were going to vote out was going to get voted out because they'd have the only two votes that were counted. And it ended up being they ended up throwing Andy out, and it was hilarious. He was like when she announced that she had an immunity idol, Andy just couldn't stop smiling because he knew he was fucked, and which I appreciated. I appreciated that he wasn't getting all boo-hooey or like throwing a fit like some people have done. Yeah. Now, are you watching Queer Eye yet?
No, did they have a new season?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, I'm behind then. Yeah.
Well, first of all, they have a new guy taking Bobby's place.
Sadly, yeah.
So but interestingly enough, he was originally supposed to be the Bobby character.
Oh.
And he couldn't do it for some, I can't remember what the reason was. He couldn't do it. So they got Bobby, and now that Bobby's gone, he stepped in. So it's kind of like the circle of life. Ultimately it came through, and so he's doing that. So so they had it was the third one. The third one was about a guy. He's in Las Vegas, and everything's in Las Vegas this time, and he plays Piff the Dragon, the Magic Dragon, Piff the Magic Dragon, and he was just getting the Magician of the Year award for Vegas, and so they came down to break him out of his shell, because when he's Piff the Dragon, he's hilarious and he is in character. But as soon as he takes off the outfit, he becomes a recluse, and he's just business. So his girlfriend had nominated him, and it was good. It was good. But what wasn't good was Anthony, who I hate for what he did to poor Jonathan. Whether it's true or not, I don't care. I hate him. And this time he couldn't, obviously he couldn't find a shirt for most of the show. He was either shirtless or in some tank top, or, he had very little on. And he did buff out a little bit, but who cares, because he's gross.
Who?
Anthony.
Oh, okay. That's who I thought you meant, but
yeah,
he's gross. He's just have a little issue.
He's just thirsty, and it was disturbing.
Well,
how thirsty
Queer
he
Eye.
was.
We gotta get the queers in to watch.
I guess, but can it be? You're right.
Ooh,
there's no other alternative.
They're all adorable, but yeah. So,
House of Villains, for anybody that's watching House of Villains, Candy from RuPaul's Drag Race is just a joy to watch, because she is. It's like if somebody says, anything against her, she is like on top of the coffee table screaming at everybody, which I really appreciate. It's just She is so funny because she's basically got drag race makeup room energy against all these reality TV stars that have no idea what being a real bitch is. Well, there's a couple that know how to be a bitch, but most of them are like, "Oh, I'm innocent. I don't know why I'm even on the villains." It's like, but Candy is fun. Let's see. We started a new show called Skeleton Crew over on Disney. This is a new Marvel series. It's about some kids, and it's interesting because we've never seen a Marvel series well, I shouldn't say Marvel. It's not Marvel. It's Lucas. Um, where we've been on another planet that looked like a regular neighborhood. Everything always has such a particular space look to it.
Yeah.
So these kids on this planet, they find an old ship, and like a spaceship, and accidentally get the door open and accidentally get it started, and the ship takes off and sends them to wherever it was supposed to be sent to. When it was turned on, it was on autopilot. So and it turns out it's an old space pirate ship. So it's a pretty cute show. It's geared very young. I mean, we're talking junior high kind of age group.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So which is fine. That's where Harry Potter started.
Yeah.
So anyway, pretty cute. Comes out once a week. There's 3 out currently. We're now watching. I've been telling you, we've been watching Lost, and it's funny. I was reading. We started watching it, and then all of a sudden, I started reading that it was in the top 5 of most streamed things online. And so then they just said, I think it was Friday, that it was the number 2 streaming thing right now. So it looks like a lot of people are out there finding Lost again. It's just kind of funny finding Lost. Anyway, so then there's I saw Silo, which is over on Apple TV. I'm not going to really talk about the episode as much as I just read that Apple TV has renewed it for a 3rd and 4th season. So I'm very excited about that part. And Dr. Odyssey, we're all done with the ones that are currently available. But I'll tell you, the gay cruise was just insane. I mean, I liked some of the elements about it, but it was just so stereotypic. But what would you expect from Ryan Murphy?
Yeah.
Skin.
Yep.
And I'll tell you, you go on these cruise ships and you're just asking for treasure. Let's see, Masked Singer, they got rid of Strawberry Shortcake this week, which is about time. She ended up being the girl from the Goldbergs that was dating the older son.
Oh.
And then she went on to another series, a Goldberg series, where she now was older, and she was a teacher. And so, which I thought was a better series than the Goldbergs. But that's just me. Let's see. This week, we started another new show. I don't know where we're going to go with this. It's called Invisible. It's on Disney, and it looks like it's some foreign country. I don't know. It's hard to tell where it's from. But if you remember the Thor show that was out for a few seasons, where it was Thor, but it was in Norway.
Oh yeah.
It has that kind of feeling for it. So, and what happens is, I guess he at one point has turned invisible, and they're trying to figure out what's wrong with him and what's going on. Let's see. Then movie wise, I saw Scrooged, I saw Krampus, Family Stone, and then Kenny and Dolly's Christmas to Remember, which was from I think it was the 80s. Anyway, it was such a good show, and it's available on YouTube. And I always love the soundtrack, because I still have the soundtrack to that. So it's always nice to go back and revisit that. Then this is interesting. I found the King Family Christmas, and it was from 1974, and I remember it specifically because the one of the King sisters was singing. The King family was a big group. It was like Lawrence Welk, but they were just singers and singers, not dancers and musicians. But so everyone loved them. The one King sister, uh, she's older, and her son was at war at Vietnam, so she was singing "I'll Be Home for Christmas," and then he pops in at the end of the song, and I remember it because of course, it felt like it was a surprise, but now I know that if they were filming the Christmas show, they filmed it in probably August. So he wasn't home for Christmas, and but it was still one of those wonderful Christmas memories. So that was 50 years ago. That's crazy. Um, let's see. I also found TV Funhouse, their Christmas special, and that's where Doug, who took care of the fun house, and it was this house with a lot of puppets and animals, real animals and puppets, and it was interesting show, a funny show. It was on Comedy Central, and Doug was all excited because he had the Christmas spirit, and the animals didn't understand what that was, so. He said it's a tingleness, it's a tingle in your spine, it just makes you happy, and they're going, well, we want some of that, so they put a spinal tap on him and sucked out the Christmas spirit, and then yeah, I know it's very disturbing, and then they took the Christmas spirit, which came out in a liquid, and then they made it into a powder form and they snorted it, and all the animals had like an orgy, and they're all doing horrible things, because they're bothering people in Rockefeller Square by singing it and getting up in everybody's faces. Really, it was. I mean, I was laughing the whole time. Still, it's just weird. Okay, then let's see. Oh, I also saw that Dear Santa, but I think you saw it too, right?
Yes.
So we'll talk about that. We'll talk about the other movie you saw, and then finally, just as a refresher, I just happened to come across a copy on YouTube of Wicked,
Uh-huh.
and I'm like, I know Wicked really well, but I haven't, the second act. After you see the movie, you just don't realize how dark the second act is. I mean, everything is everything. Everything, anything that was positive falls apart in the second act. So and true colors really come to play, so that was really cool, and it was neat because Cheryl Lee Ralph, from uh, uh, Abbott Elementary, she's playing the mistress of the school, but more interesting is that she is the original Dina. I think it was Dina from Dreamgirls. So she was the original Diane Ross character in Dreamgirls. So from I think it was 1980. So anyway, that was kind of cool. I always like when you're watching those and you can pick out who that is, because when I saw Book of Mormon, they had the guy Ben Platt was one of the characters in Book of Mormon.
Oh.
So it was kind of fun. I'm going, that's Ben Platt. Oh my God, I'm watching Ben Platt on stage. This is great. So anyway,
cool.
Yeah. So
the thing, I need to go watch that because I don't remember most of the second act.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just like, okay, I need to remember what the heck happened. But let's say, oh, I had to tell the people that I was seeing the movie with, by the way, don't, the two women that come out when they get to Oz, it's
Yeah.
like I had to keep saying that's Christian Chenoweth and that's what's her name? Idina Menzel. They were the ones that originated the roles. That's them. And they're like, I don't know. I don't know. I'm like,
Who were you there with?
the regular bunch.
Oh God, and they didn't know?
No, I mean Clint kind of knew, but he didn't get it until I told him. But the others were just like, I don't know. I don't
Sean
really know
immediately
much about
recognized.
this.
Sean
So
originally immediately knew who they were.
yeah, I mean, gosh.
I know.
Anyway, people. Okay. All right. Well then, let's see here. Get back to this page. Okay, so shows that we're watching together. So let's start with the Holiday Baking Championship. Um, they didn't do the finale yet, did they?
No, no, it's today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I
Because I
thought it
kept
was going to
looking
be.
for it.
I thought it was going to be last week, and it just wasn't that.
No. Okay, so we're not quite there yet with that one. Red One. So we got a chance to watch Red One. That is the new movie with Dwayne The Rock Johnson and Chris Evans, who I think was really good in this. Um,
Well, at
I
the end,
don't
he
really
was.
remember any other big name people. Well, Lucy Liu.
Yeah, Lucy Liu.
But other than that, I don't remember any really big name people, but a lot of character actors that you will
Well,
recognize.
Chris Evans' wife was
Oh,
the daughter from Frankie and Johnny. She
okay.
was Shane Fonda's daughter.
And Sabrina the Teenage Witch was the human version of Gryla. You know what I'm talking about?
No,
Okay, so you remember Sabrina, The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina on Netflix?
yeah, yeah.
So the actress who played Sabrina played the human version of the witch.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
obviously not the troll version.
No.
Uh,
Well, no. But um, so yeah, I watched this last night and I put it off a little bit. Of course, now you told me that this had actually been in the theaters, which
for
is
over a month, yeah.
what I thought it was, but then when I saw it on this, I'm like, oh, I guess they just released it to here. I didn't realize it was coming out, you know. But uh I was trepidatious when I went to watch it, and I'm glad I did. I really liked it, actually. I don't know if it's something that I would probably put in my rotation every year, but I paid attention to it and watched it, and I enjoyed the whole thing. I loved how they brought Krampus in, and all this old mythology that they brought into it, which was pretty good. Of course, demonizing the pagans, but whatever. And I thought Chris Evans did a great job.
At the end.
Well, yeah, yeah, but I mean, he did a good acting job through the whole thing.
No, no. I thought he was terrible at the beginning. I thought he was
Really?
walking through it.
Uh, Maybe. I don't know. I still think he did good, but it's Chris Evans, so of course I'm gonna think he did good. So much better than seeing him in other things that he's been in recently. Um, Now, when I actually everybody that I know that saw the previews of it went, The Rock, uh, and that was my thing too. But I mean, he did good. I would have said he walked through it more, just once again being the kind of emotionless tough guy type thing character. But man, whatever. But it was a good story. What do you think?
I thought it was too long.
I will give you that. There was a point when I'm like, shouldn't this wrap up?
Well, the Crumpus thing went too long.
Yes.
Um, uh, Especially that one. That's the one that really stood out for me. It's like, oh my God, what have they do? I think I said, oh well, they spent all this time and money on makeup, so they're gonna make us look at it. Um,
Probably.
and yeah, but it's got a great look. I mean, they spent $250 million to make it, and so it should look good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and I did think that the snowman sequence ran a little long too. Well, leading into with Nick Kroll, and then all of a sudden here's the snowman, and I like the carrot part though. That made me laugh.
That
Uh,
was. Yeah.
but yeah, so uh, for the most part, I mean, I was entertained, but
Mhm.
I would have liked to have been entertained less uh,
Mhm.
by about 20 minutes, I'm thinking.
Yeah, actually, I would agree if they had cut about 20 minutes out, like, yeah, I think that would have been good. And the whole once they get him from the apartment and then the whole like interrogation and introducing him to the other world, blah blah blah, and I was just like, okay, this is standard. I guess you have to go through to get to the next point, but
Right.
move along.
Yeah, and I did like the fact that they he goes, really, Santa, and they go, well, we are here to make sure the mystical and mythical characters are
Mhm.
protected. And it's like, okay, so they're just coming right out and saying, no, these things exist. And because they had the headless horseman, when I saw the
Yeah.
horse breathing, breathing out fire, I'm like, that's the headless horseman's fault. Okay, and then here comes the headless guy, and then the pumpkin in a cage, so he can't walk away. I don't know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but those kind of things I really enjoyed. But I just think that a little trimming here and there would have been good.
Yeah, and they could have cut that whole bear character, and I would have been fine with that too.
What the bear? The
Yeah,
hot bear?
the polar bear.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What
well,
was
because it was just so
Garcia?
heavy. It was so heavy-handed of, look, it's a bear. And I'm just like, his character is pretty much pointless. Let's see
Uh,
those hot elves again. Yeah.
oh, they'll go for hot L's. Okay, whatever.
Well, yeah,
Okay.
the security team elves, not the little odd creatures. So, yeah.
It's, how about the weird thing is in L's they didn't use the trolls because they couldn't control their they didn't know how to poop outside. So
Ah,
I was surprised that they used them this time. So maybe they've
uh,
cured that. I don't know.
maybe.
Yeah.
And then we watched Dear Santa, which is the new Jack Black flick, and I think on Paramount Plus.
Yes.
Yeah, and so basically the plot of it is this little kid writes to Santa. He's, basically,
Dyslexic.
yeah. And well, he accidentally apparently writes to Satan.
Yeah.
And
It's
yeah,
Satan it's Satan at the north. Um, what was it? It's Lope.
North Blow. Yeah.
Yeah. So
So yeah, so the letter gets delivered to the wrong place, of course, and well, uh allegedly Satan comes and yeah, tries to help him and he has to learn his lesson. I actually, okay, so for the most part, I liked it. I thought that it was just kind of cheesy fun, Jack Black, I always kind of enjoy him, even though some of his characters, I'm like, really, but he does a good job.
well, I think the reason the show worked was Jack Black.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
And I got to tell you, I loved him in that little red outfit he was wearing in the motel room.
Yeah, yeah, I do like him. I just, and you're right. If it hadn't been for him in that would have been a shit movie. But the ending, totally inappropriate. Do not like, do not like the ending. And I don't want to spoil it for anybody that's going to go listen, watch it. But for me, I was just like, you know what? That is a really not good ending that sends a really fucked up message to a lot of people. So, yeah. And that's all I'm going to say.
Good. You remind me what you hated about that later.
Yes, I will.
Okay.
Okay. And then of course Matlock's not back yet.
Yeah, it is.
It is?
Yeah, there's a new Matlock.
Oh, well then I'm gonna get over there later today and watch that.
Yeah, it was. Well, they're always good.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
So I think that's all that we're watching at the same time right now.
Yeah.
So I this week is kind of a lot of just revisits to things. I so DJ and I did Matinee Minutia, and the movie that we watched was called Chances Are, and that is a Sybil Shepherd flick from 1989. And let me tell you, it was one of those movies that I was like, wow, this is definitely something that worked in 1989. So Robert Downey Jr., Ryan O'Neal, And the basic plot is Sybil Shepherd's husband. They're very much in love. She gets pregnant, and at their anniversary, he gets hit by a car and killed. And he goes to heaven and says, "Hey, I need to go back." And so they send him back, reincarnated into Robert Downey Jr. And then 23 years later, Robert Downey Jr. shows up and says hi. So basically meets his daughter, and they kind of hit it off. And then he ends up back in their lives, and then remembers all of a sudden that he was married to Sybil, and they work out, well, their little affair or whatever it is. But the thing that got me, and it's 1989, so sorry if there's spoilers, girl. Now, have you seen Chances Are? I'm sure you have.
Yeah, like 40 years ago.
Yeah. So basically, at the end of it, he gets his memory wiped by, the powers that be. And then basically it's set up so that he is going to marry his daughter. And I don't know, that was just a little too weird for me. No comment?
I don't remember it well enough to make a comment.
Okay. Anyway, but there were some really fun performances in it. Sybil was amazing in it. Just really fun. So it's a fun movie overall, but there was a couple little weird twerks that I wasn't totally sure about. Santa Claus is Coming to Town, the old Rankin Bass. Still creepy. Loved it. Still fun. A lot of good childhood memories, but still creepy.
Why is it creepy?
If you sit on my lap today, a kiss, a toy is the price you pay.
Oh, no, you're the creepy part.
No, sorry, it's just, but but the thing is, it wasn't creepy then. It was sweet.
Well, yeah, because that's what you did when you went to visit Santa. But since you're so fucking jaded,
Hey, you
all
know
you
what?
see
It
is
is a new day.
Santa the pervert. He sneaks
Well,
into your
Rudy
house
Rooney the
and then
pervert.
what? God, I hope. What's he doing to the children?
That's a good question.
There you go. This
Yeah.
is what you've
See,
become.
this is another reason that I hate that the newer Miracle on 34th Street.
Well, that one they actually called him a pedophile.
Yeah, yeah.
That was I mean, of all jobs, there's one job in the world where children come to sit on somebody's lap, and that is Santa.
Right. And
And they
there's
had to
nothing
spoil it.
wrong with it. And yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And I can't tell you if I can tell you that all the times I sat on Santa's lap, I never felt a boner. Okay. I did feel
he?
a pack of cigarettes one time.
Oh, I think I only sat on Santa's lap one time.
And then
And I don't
the mall
remember, I
said
don't
no
actually
more.
remember that. I just remember going to do it, like, walking into the mall with my parents, but
You were terrified. That's right.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you'll have to ask your mother about that.
Yeah, actually, that's something I should do that. Um, Maybe she can fill in the blanks. Of course, she'll probably be like, I don't remember. Anyway, Mrs. Santa Claus with Angela Lansbury. Just a very sweet, movie from the past. And she's great in it. Just fun. Um, Dune Prophecy. So if you like the Dune stuff, or if you even just like a good kind of sci-fi-ish film, this is actually really good. The more that it goes, especially past that third episode, the more it's really got the intrigue, it's got the stuff going on. I do kind of wish they'd step it up and do a little bit something more than just keep adding intrigue to intrigue, but it's still a good, fun watch. So, yeah. Doctor Who. So I have been made it a challenge to watch all the Doctor Who Christmas specials, which there's like, I don't know, 18 or something of them, I think.
Really, this is a challenge.
Yes.
What do you win
Well,
at the end?
the refreshed knowledge that I've watched them all and now I can remember them all again and how wonderful they were, and I get to see David Tennant.
Yeah, but
So,
12 years old.
uh, fuck you. Yes, I am.
Okay.
On the inside. So,
Ew.
so anyway, there are some that are so fun and so good, and then there's one or two that are kind of like, oh, wow, who wrote that one? So yeah.
Blame
Uh,
it on the writer.
well, I blame more on directors, but sometimes the script just sucks.
It could be the studio. That's who I always blame.
Well, there you go. I'll do that as well. Um, okay, so Elf on the Shelf baking competition. I do not like the Elf on the Shelf stuff.
I don't either. Talk
I
about creepy.
I know, right? I've just like never like I don't want one.
Uh,
I
the,
don't want to look
the
at one.
well, the only good thing about the only good Elf on the Shelf is the Saturday Night Live one with Jason Momoa, where he played one of the elves, and so he was reporting back to Santa, and Santa goes, "So has Billy been a good boy this year?" Well, Billy's different this year than he has been in the past. Well, what do you mean? Well, he spends a lot of time by himself, and 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 while he's by himself, he does things, and he keeps staring at me, and it's making me very uncomfortable. And it was really really funny. So if actually, if you have Paramount, not Paramount, Peacock, you can find it over there on Peacock under the Saturday Night Live Christmas episodes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
I might check
Or
that out.
YouTube. You can do YouTube. I'm sure it's
Yeah.
there as well.
So, this is the Elf on the Shelf Baking Championship and or competition or whatever it is. I finished it out. I think there's only one season, and it was just tragic. And it's I don't know. I mean, some of the creations were really, really good, and they had some amazing bakers and stuff on there, but for the most part, I just like they need revenue because I don't know why else you would do this show. Um, and
And
then
what was that on? Was it
I'm pretty sure it was Paramount Plus because it just comes right through my Prime.
okay?
Um, it could be Discovery, but I'm pretty sure it's Paramount. And then the what is it? The the cookie championship. Um, This is another one. I mean, I watched the whole season, but honestly, I what I did like is that every show they have a winner, and then the next show they have a new contestants. They give away $10,000 an episode.
You're right.
That I was like because I'm like if I don't like one of the contestants, which most of them are very likable, um, then they're all gone, and the new set come in. They also had rotating guests, a lot of them from the Holiday Baking Championship winners, like the Italian guy from like season one, I think it was. And then some of the other little gay ones here and there. Very fun, but some of the cookies and stuff like that, it just felt
Well,
like a waste of time.
the only thing I liked about it is now I know the term flooding.
Yeah. Oh, what'd you think about those cups? They were trying to bake cookie cups that you put liquid in and then drank out of.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Really?
Yeah.
It was
You sure you're watching the right season?
it could have been an older season.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because that's the only thing I like about it is I know I can put it in and not care.
Yeah. It's something good to just put in the background while you're doing other things.
But I'm getting the feeling that there's something going on between Eddie and the country girl.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's just
Hmm.
well, remember when he proposed? Yeah, I think you're in the wrong season. Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. I'll probably end up watching the season you're talking about tonight. And then the other thing was the gingerbread baking championship. And this is with the first season I think that I watched was with Jesse, and then it went to Carla. And it's over now. It's done. Um, it was fun. I think that some of the contestants just took it a little too seriously. Um, but for the most part, it was fun. Some really neat creations. And a lot of drama because they would they'd say, here's what you're going to do, bake most of your gingerbread ahead of time and then ship it here. And of course, there'd always be one contestant that ended up with all their gingerbread just like crumbled. So anyway, all right. Well, we'd have some advice that came in. Dear Matt and Tom, I could use your advice on a situation with a longtime friend. For years, we've exchanged Christmas gifts by mail. We live in different states. This year, instead of the usual package, I only received a Christmas card from her with no mention of a gift. I have already picked out and planned to send her gifts, but now I'm wondering if her sending only a card is her way of signaling she'd like to stop exchanging presents. I'm perfectly okay with that. Cards are lovely, and I'd be happy to transition to just that. However, I'm worried that if I send her the gifts I already bought, it might make her feel guilty or obligated to keep the gift exchange going, even if she'd rather not. I don't want to make things awkward, but I'm not sure how to navigate this change in tradition. Should I send the gifts as usual, or should I take receiving only a card as a sign and put the tradition to rest? I'd like to hear your thoughts and any advice you have for me. Perplexed in Pennsylvania.
Okay, I would say that I'd I'd send a card,
Hmm.
get the card out, because this could be a situation of where they send the card, and because I'm not sure how they usually do this, but send the card first. You know how you get all your
Hmm.
cards out, and
Yeah.
then the package comes later. So I would say that have the gifts ready to go
Hmm.
just in case. And if nothing happens, then take it as a sign that it's time to stop the exchange.
Right. And switch to cards, and then because some people are having tough years.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, no, I
So,
agree.
yeah. So anyway, I think that advice is pretty spot on. That's what I would say too. And then, if by Christmas doesn't happen, you can always give those gifts to someone else.
Or
That's
return them if depending what they
that's
are.
true. That's
Yeah,
true.
and because and if like let's say Christmas Eve, all of a sudden here comes a bunch of gifts, go, oh my God, um, I just got mine, sent out, and they're going to be late. Just warning you, they're going to be late.
Right.
But have a story as well. But I think a lot of people, long distance transition to cards after a while. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for sending that in. Also, let's see. It's time for Hey Chubs, and Timothy wants to know if you visit a city but never leave the airport, can you count that on the list of cities you visited in your lifetime?
Absolutely.
I say same. If you look out the window and you see whatever's out there, you're good. You've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey Chubs, do you have a story about a sexy blue collar worker visiting your house? A plumber, cable guy, electrician, UPS driver, etc.
I do not.
Yeah, not a specific one, but
Yeah, I mean, well, the people that come to do work are not my types.
now there have I know for that there have been in the past there have been some really hot guys that have shown up to do work, but I couldn't tell you a specific one at this point because nothing, you know.
Nothing stands out that I can tell
Yeah.
you.
So, but I always enjoy when they, well, not the reason they're here, but usually, but anyway, hey Chubbs, did you have, oh, you know what? I will say there was somebody that came out about 6 months ago to jump our battery. for the car, and they were
Obviously
very
for the
hot. Not
car,
necessarily my
filthy.
type, but very, very hot. Lots of tattoos. Yeah. Let's see. Hey, Chubbs, did you have, Timothy wants to know, did you have a favorite toy growing up?
Yeah, Teddy,
Yeah.
he's my tattoo.
Yep.
And I'd show you, but I've got a stiff shoulder, so I can't get it to the camera.
I'd show you, but I have to charge. Yeah, mine was my Snoopy. He went with me everywhere. I still have him. He's a couple rags that have been stuffed into another Snoopy just for safekeeping, but I still have him. So, all right, thank you, Timothy, for those questions. And now it's time for I Remember, and it is I Remember the Magic of Santa.
What the fuck does that mean?
Okay, well, I'll start then.
Is this like the Magi, the secret of the Magi, where where
Yes.
where I give you
Well, we're gonna pull it out of you with a
okay.
syringe and
Yeah,
have
exactly.
cocaine orgies. Um, so the magic of Santa for me, when I was a little kid, uh, I they would like we opened our gifts on New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve.
Sorry, Christmas Eve.
Oh,
So I would always they'd always tell me, well, you need to go take your bath now and get, in your pajamas and stuff, and then, whatever. And so I would be usually be in the bathtub.
when
And
Santa came to visit.
yes, no, I'd be in the
See,
bathtub.
this is something you've been digging at for a long time.
Yes, it's buried deep.
Yeah, deep in your
And
butt.
oh God, yes, girl,
Santa and his
I was
candy
like
cane.
5. Come on, let's move along.
What you're sitting on his lap, I
Yeah.
don't know.
So my I would hear stomping on the roof, and
Did
I'd
they
hear
really?
I'd hear bells like, being shaken. And then I would be told, like my mom would like come or be at the door or whatever, and she'd be like, hurry up and get down there, Santa's here, you gotta hurry up. So then of course, I would hurry up, get dressed, whatever. I'd go downstairs, and then all the packages and stuff, which had been stuck in a closet, which I found once when I was about 7, was all under the tree, and it was Santa was here, and you heard everything up there and the stomping, which was my uncle up there with, shaking some bells and stomping around. Um, so it was very, very magical time. Anyway, so that's the magic of Santa that I remember. How about you?
I remember when I was 5, I found my Christmas stocking in my mother's closet.
Okay.
And then the rest of the time I just played along. You
Yeah,
know, if they want me to play along, I'll play along. I'm okay. I'm cool with that.
right.
And there was always the thing, and just in case there is a Santa, I'll play along.
Well, yeah, because there is. But yeah, for me it was, I think I was about 7 or 8, and there were a couple early presents under the tree, and it was in my I could identify at that point my mom's handwriting, and it said Santa, but I was like, that's mom.
Well, see, anything from my parents was always marked from Santa.
Same.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, but I believe the spirit of Santa is out there. Okay, Mr. Moose, he wrote in, and well, okay. One moment, please. Technical glitch.
Well,
Let's move this in because I want you to see this.
I'm seeing it.
Okay, there we go. No, there was another thing for you to see. So, starting out, of course, I hope you're not eating right now because I may trigger images of the Exorcist movie. Ready? Well, made some homemade split pea soup with ham for dinner. Also, homemade whole wheat bread, perfect for a cold day, no matter what Linda Blair says. And
wait, those aren't brownies?
okay, so you do see this bowl of soup, right?
Oh, there is bread right next to it. Okay, I got it. Okay, I was confused.
Oh, I see. I
Yeah,
guess I'm looking at the whole picture. Yeah.
but this I like split pea soup, so that looks yummy.
I do. You know what? I didn't for a long time because that's what we had to eat when we were homeless, and it was never flavored, and it had that nasty old ham hock in it. It was just, ugh.
But that gives it all the flavor.
I don't care. Take that shit out before you serve it.
Well, then
Anyway,
you can't even make it if you don't have that.
but a couple of years ago, I decided to make my own, and I made it, and I actually like it now, but I have to make it.
Okay.
Or ask you without that nasty old ham hock thing.
The only thing I don't like about it
Hmm?
is that it clings to everything it gets on.
Yeah,
I mean, you
true.
really have to, like, after you finish, you have to wash that dish right now, or it's seriously caked on for years. Not years, but you really have to work to get it off.
Yeah, yeah, you're pretty right. Hey, do you do the black-eyed pea thing on New Year's?
No, my mom used to.
Yeah.
I just never liked the black eyed peas.
See, I'm not a big fan either, but I have heard about it so much lately that I did get a can of it and put it in the cupboard. So this year we might do it, but
Canned. Oh, that sounds even worse. My mom made it from scratch.
well, your mom's more industrious than I was, or she was. Um, okay, Mr. Moose said made fudge for Christmas. Cutting it up turned out pretty good, nice and creamy with walnuts in this batch, and that looks wonderful.
Sounds insane. I mean, oh my God. It
I
looks insane.
I love fudge so much. And now this looks kind of like almost like fantasy fudge, which is the recipe that I use.
Oh, I thought that was something else. Okay.
Okay. Well, on that dirty note, send us what's in your lunchbox at chubsgonewild@gmail.com, as well as you can send us hey Chubs or advice questions or comments or whatever you want. Mostly.
Or pictures of your Christmas dinner.
Yeah, that would be nice. We didn't get any Thanksgiving pictures
Not one
whatsoever.
Thanksgiving. I know, isn't that weird?
So they were just all like, we're just going out to a restaurant. We don't need
or maybe it just didn't. It's like, oh, this isn't going to look good. I'm not seeing this.
That's true. Find Tom's other podcast at swannerandjudd.com. Find my books over at justkisstheguy.com. And find all of our links at allmylinks.com/chubsgonewild. And you can always give us an email at
chubsgonewild@gmail.com.
Yes, Queen. All right. Well, now Tom has to go chill out and relax and recover, and I have to. What do I have to do? I have to assemble 3 different trees. So
and a nap. Don't forget, you got to have a nap.
Oh my God. Considering I didn't get to sleep till 4:30 in the morning last night.
Why? Because
I could use.
You're watching those stupid Doctor Who Christmas things.
Oh, you know what? If you haven't watched any Doctor Who, you cannot say if they're stupid or not, because
I've seen 2 episodes.
You're not a huge sci-fi episode. I think that you would like the newer ones.
I saw 2 episodes.
Of the new ones or the old ones?
I think it was somewhat the newer ones. The one with the stretched out piece of leather with the face on it.
Cassandra, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that episode.
Moisturize me.
Yeah, but and then I don't remember what the other one was. I just was so, and then the funny thing is I see it all the time, and half the time I've got to think, wait, is that Doctor Who or is that Evil Dead? Because it looks a lot like the book on the Evil Dead too. So
it also it reminds me of the book from Hocus Pocus.
Yeah,
too.
Yeah. Nothing like stretched out skin.
Right.
Just like us.
She was the last human though. So
yeah.
All right. Well, we love you, and we will catch you in 1 week, right before Christmas. So go enjoy the holidays.
Bye-bye.
A network of inclusion.
UnivazPods.net.
This show is part of the Pride 48 network.
This has been a
For fuck's sake. Production.